I challenge Joe Cordina for a body shot.
3, 2, 1.
Fuck! Fuck me.
The right hand that I caught him with was unbelievable. Not a nice sport to be involved in, and to get to the very top you've got to go through a lot. There could be money gone missing and they've made deals behind certain people's back. I've always wanted to fight Shakur, and I know what I mean.
What's a few words you give him?
Fucking bitch.
Thank you for coming, Joe.
Oh, thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. I've been running after you for a while,
Yeah.
and you came to Malta. I was like, listen, I'm going to reach out to you. How has it been?
It's been good. I've been over in Gozo for the last 4 weeks. I got another 3 weeks, and then I'm back to work.
Some family time, huh?
Yeah, well, my dad lives in Gozo in Sealam, so it's I love it here. I've been coming here since I was a baby, so every year I try and come for as long as I can over the summer. When I was an amateur, I was only coming maybe for 2-3 weeks max, and then now I'm pro, I can come for the whole summer, which is great. But I think 7 weeks is enough because I need to get back to work. Otherwise, with the bread, the pastis, and everything else, I think, yeah, I won't be making lightweight anymore.
It's your therapy.
Yeah, of course, I love it. I love it here.
Family time.
Exactly. My kids just crack on and do whatever they want, and yeah, it's like a home from home for me. So it's, even though it's that homely feel, and it's like it's where I'm meant to be. It's also a holiday as well because I can get up. I don't have no worries about anything. Don't have no commitments to do anything. I just get up. I'll go to the gym, and then come back and go to the beach or the pool, whichever one.
You golf here?
Yeah, I golfed last week. Me and Darren Barker, who's also ex-world champion, Matchroom, and then we were with the same trainer as well. So, and he's a good friend of mine. So last week he was here, and I came over to golf. I beat him, so he wasn't happy. But yeah, and I'm actually golfing tomorrow. So
We're speaking about you relaxing and having a great time here in Malta. I know also your other therapy session is golf. That's why I asked you. Is your golf therapy or more I want to win as well?
No, of course. I say to her, it's just for therapy because I want to win. That's anything. If me and you are walking up the stairs, I want to beat you up the stairs. It's just, that's how I am. I'm competitive in anything I do. So if I'm playing golf, although it's a therapy session, if I come away and I haven't won, it pisses me right off.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's but that is my getaway. For me to take my mind away from boxing and everything else that's going on, golf is the thing. If I can't do that, I don't mind. I do mind smoking when in a cigar, not when I'm in camp. When I'm at a camp, like for instance now, if I want to relax and I can't play golf every day because I have to keep coming back and forth, but I'll smoke a cigar. It'll calm me down, relax me, and take me away for 45 minutes. So yeah, it's they're the two things for me that
That relax you, exactly.
Yeah.
I read an article where I'm not into boxing, I'm not a boxer. I love boxing. And the game is like this. It's more mentally than physically.
100%.
So I think that's where you excel the most, where you can take time off.
Do you know the thing with boxing? Obviously, you have to be physically fit, but mentally, if you're not right, you're gonna come unstuck. For people to, when you're fighting in the ring and you see people seeing you on telly, they only see the physical side of things. They don't see the things you have to go through. Like me, I lived away for 9 years, my pro career. So me staying away from my kids 3 weeks at a time, maybe seeing them, 8 to 12 days through my whole camp. The other side of things, the business side of things that you've got to focus on and try and get around and this, that, and this. Sometimes it's not as straightforward as people think, and the negotiating of certain things. It's all a build-up, and sometimes it gets on top of people, and people ain't mentally right going into the ring. Yeah, they physically fit, but mentally they're not often out at the races, but people just get on with it. Of late, there's been times where I haven't been mentally right to going into a fight, but yeah, it is what it is. Luckily I've come out with a win. But now I'm in control of my own career, so I can deal with it properly. Now it's sort of just a knock-on effect now. Like the fight we've just negotiated last, it went smoothly. The next one, I'm hoping I'll go smoothly. The one after that, I think will go smoothly. So it'll just be a knock-on effect. There's not going to be no back and forths and
Right now, though, but before?
Before it was a bit different because I wasn't in control of my own career. So I'm always asking the questions, what's happening?
To who, if I may ask?
My old trainer and his son, Charlie, Tony was my trainer. So I'm just asking the questions because Tony's my manager. So I'm asking the questions, and sometimes he's too busy to be dealing with the certain things, so Charlie was dealing with them. Yeah, then I got to keep asking what's happening. And then they're having the back and forth. Yeah, okay, they wanna keep it away from me. Like the business side of things, they want to keep it away from me. But I want to know what's happening with my career. And there might be certain things that they might not be happy with, but I might be happy with it.
Exactly.
So I would prefer to know, because then if they're having a back and forth over a certain thing, I might step in and say no, I'm okay with that. So, but now I'm in control of my own career. So
in real estate, you can either follow the crowd or be coached by the best. Elite is the #1 platform for agents who want more deals, more growth, and more leadership. It's not just a real estate agency, it's a launchpad with real training, real support, and a community that pushes you to your peak. If you're serious about becoming an agent, join Elite now and become the agent others chase. Let's go back to the pod. You mentioned kids before this, and I watched your day in the life. It was cool.
Yeah.
And your wife mentioned that she doesn't want your kids to watch the fights. Why is that?
I think she wouldn't mind them. I don't want them to watch my fights, because, for instance, if you was a kid and your father was fighting, you're not gonna like it, and
Not gonna understand.
You might, as a kid, you might get upset. You're watching your dad fight, or say, for instance, God forbid it ever happens to me, I get knocked spark out in the ring, and that can happen in a blink of an eye. They're watching it, that happens. They're not going to really understand what's going on, but all they see is their father on the floor. So, not saying that it's going to happen to me, and God forbid it will ever happen to me, but I just don't want them watching me fight, because there is been people out there that take their kids to shows and let their kids watch them fight, and that have happened to them. I don't want my kids going through that, watching their father fight. It's not for me. So anyone, because obviously my wife comes to all the fights, whoever's looking after my kids at the time, they go to bed before I come on, and they don't come downstairs, they don't do nothing. Yeah, they got YouTube, but they can't watch it live.
Exactly.
They can watch it after. I don't mind them watching it after. So
It depends on the result, though.
Nah, not really. They can watch it after, but they know what happens by the next day. So if say, for instance, I lost and I lost badly, I'll explain to them I've lost, and my one daughter gets really upset after my last loss. She got really upset, but I'll explain to them, I've lost, this is what happens. So they're gonna expect it. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. But if you do want to watch it and you're adamant you want to watch it, crack on. But this is what happens. So I leave it to them. But I don't want them to watch it. I don't want my kids getting involved in boxing. Don't want my boy to box. If he do, then I can't do nothing about it.
No?
To a certain age, I'll try and keep him away from it. But then if he wants to do it, I can't stop him.
Due to danger?
Just a business. Shit business. It's not a nice sport to be involved in, and to get to the very top, in the amateurs and in the pros, you gotta go through a lot. So for me, there's 1,000,001 ways to make money, and there's hundreds of ways to become a sports star or this, or if you want to be an actor or an actress or a singer, yeah, they had things to crack. But I'd rather them try their hand at that than boxing, because that's a long, hard road, and only the smallest percentages. When you look at it as a whole, it's like a 0 point something percent of people that may come out that sport with money or get to the highest level. So yeah, it's a very small margin that make anything.
We all want change, and we all want it fast. New body, new mindset, new habits. But real change, it's not a switch, it's a system. Reflex Gym gives you that system. The space, the structure, the support. Whether you're getting started or pushing for the next level, Reflex is where progress happens. Built on hard work, backed by community. Visit Reflex Gym on their website, reflex.com.mt. Let's get back to the pod. Can you elaborate on shit business?
There's loads of meanings. Like, for instance, over the years you would have heard stories of Mike Tyson and Don King. You would have heard that. Then you would have heard stories about Frank Warren. Then you would hear stories about this one, that one over in America. But like them stories, you'll think they'll never happen to you, and then until it happens to you, you're thinking, okay, fuck, you know. Not saying this happened to me, but I know people this happened to. So it's
when you say stories,
it's stories in a sense of there could be money gone missing, there could be this or there could be that, and they've made deals behind certain people's backs and shit like that. So that's what I mean in the ship business. And also in the ship business is like you will have, for instance, a number one contender who should be fighting for a world title, and he's earned his way to the top. Then you'll get a fighter that, because of his promoter or manager or whatever, they just strip him straight in and they beat him to it. Not saying that is anything wrong with that, but it's just this number one contender years and years ago would have fought straight away for the title.
Exactly.
Do you understand? But now it's not so much. It's like with the YouTube and everything. You got Jake Paul. They're on about Jake Paul jumping in straight with Anthony Joshua. These fighters have spent years and years and years trying to get a fight with Anthony Joshua or when he was world champion, so they can make millions and change their families' lives. But you got someone who's a multi-millionaire, got hundreds of millions or whatever he got, and just comes from YouTube.
Shock him in.
Put him in, he's going to make X amount of money and just get ironed out. So it's like, yeah, when I talk about shit business, it's stuff like that.
Isn't that life though? It happens in every business,
it is.
Every sport.
Yeah, no, of course, but that's what I wish boxing shouldn't be. There's rankings for a reason. And that's if not, there's no point fighting for any little titles or trying to build yourself up. We just all get together and start, I'll fight him, and then I'll fight 50 journeymen, get to 50-0, and put me in for a world title. That's what it'd be. But unfortunately, it should be, well, I say fortunately, it should be the way that it used to be. Build yourself up the rankings. Number one, okay, you fight. If number one can't fight and they got to fight, then number two, and then it goes down.
Exactly.
Yeah, it don't really matter if, say for instance, someone in the top 5 or 10 fight for the title, because you're thereabouts. But then when it comes to like people that are jumping in from, and they're like number 30 in the world or something like that, then it starts to get silly. So yeah, that's what I mean by shit business.
Let's go on to June 4th, 2022, where you fought Ogawa and Cardiff. That knockout, the right hand.
Oh, it was amazing. I was thinking about it the other day, and I was talking to Darren Barker about the right hand when we were playing golf, and there was a moment that I'd love to relive, and I thought I lived it because he was on about when he won his world title, but I thought I lived, like, I enjoyed that moment. I thought I did, but I wish I'd enjoyed it a lot more, in the sense of like took it in and celebrated a little bit more with it, because I will never have that moment back again, and I will never ever get to anything that feels like the way I did. It just, yeah, it was a crazy moment, and the right hand that I caught him with was unbelievable.
I think the craziest part of it is, apart from the knockout, is the fight itself, where you won the world title for it.
I wasn't meant to fight for it, in the sense of, like I said, it's the shit business, but it happens this day and age. But I was in the top 10, so for me, it wasn't a bit of a one thing. There was a fighter. I think I was number 4 or 5 at the time. There was a fighter that was injured. Then there was a fighter that was fighting, and then it was me. But then there was 2 fighters fighting for it, and the deal was the winner of that fights me. So I was like, okay, no problem. It's no. I was probably gonna have another fight and then fight for a world title, but it just come one fight earlier. But then Eddie said, "You fighting in Cardiff, Ogawa," which I knew he was a dangerous puncher, good fighter, dangerous puncher. I was like, perfect, and I couldn't really ask for more from Eddie, in a sense of he got everything I wanted, world title in my hometown. But then for me to go out and win it the way I did, yeah, that's like what you, as a fighter, that's what you would dream of, winning a world title in that fashion in your hometown. It's different. It feels different to anything I've ever experienced in my life.
The arena exploded, huh? It exploded.
My cousin and my brother was there, so yeah, if you ask them, that was, yeah, crazy. There was pints getting thrown everywhere. I got videos sent to me. As soon as I knocked him out, it was just like there was beers just flying through the air. Everyone was getting soaked. So yeah, it was a mad feeling and crazy experience, and I thought I was gonna go out and party, and I didn't. I got drug tested, done my press conference. I went to the club, turned round and walked straight back out. I went back to my room, and I just tried to go to sleep, but I didn't sleep all night. I just stayed up on my phone because people were messaging me left, right, and center. I was trying to get back to everyone, but every time I was messaging someone, there was like 3 coming up. Messaging someone else, like 5 would come up. So it's like, I thought, let me have I'm laying there in the night, my ears are ringing. I'm thinking, fucking hell, I'm world champion. My missus is asleep next to me, and I just, every now and again, I'd get up and I'd look out the window, because I was staying in the I can't remember the hotel, and I was opening the blinds, but it looks over the city, and I was thinking, fucking hell, I've done it. What I've set out to do. Like, when you look at world champions, first one that comes to mind is Mike Tyson. Then, like, you start thinking about Floyd Mayweather. Then you think Sugar Ray Leonard, Duran, Bernard Hopkins, Ricky Hatton, Joe Calzaghe, and you can keep going and going and going and going. Muhammad Ali. I'm one of them. I've done exactly what they've done. So, yeah, when I was looking out the window, that's why I kept thinking, I've fucking done it. I've achieved everything I've wanted to achieve. So yeah, it was an amazing moment for me.
4 months after, what went on with that?
Yeah, it was a bit shit. I started training because I had a fight with Rakhimov lined up, and that was for the October or November, I can't remember. And
November.
Yeah, it was the November. And the first week back training with Tony, it was my sparring week, and it was my first spar against a fighter called Jake Henty. And the first round I've come out, I just had a look at him. He's big southpaw, just having a little look, slipped a couple of shots. I thought, okay, I'm gonna try the Ogawa shot, feint downstairs, right hand, and I just dip, feint downstairs, hit him with a right hand, hit him so clean. I felt something in my hand. I was like, step back. I was like, fucking hell. I tried to clench my fist, and I could just feel something moving in my hand. It was just like mad. So I said, take the fucking glove off. He was like, nah, you'll be fine. I said, nah, take the glove off. So he took the glove off, took my wraps off, or cut my wraps off because I had Gozo on. Took my wraps off, and looked at it, and it started swelling straight away. So I rung the surgeon, Mike Hayton, best hand surgeon in the world. And I've got him on the FaceTime. He was like, Joe, yeah. He said, okay. He said, come up.
You can show the audience.
So basically, I got two.
That camera.
I got two scars. This one was the first one I done, which was before the Ogawa fight, and then this was the one I done after the Ogawa fight. This long one. So that long one was the one. I snapped it in half. So I done it on a Monday. I went up on a Friday to Manchester from Cardiff, and got it operated on straight away. And it was 3 months. But then I had to go and watch. Me and my cousin Adam went over to Abu Dhabi and watched him fight against Zalfa Barrett from Manchester. And he stopped Zalfa Barrett. I can't remember what round, but Zalfa was doing well. It was a good fight. But he stopped Zalfa in the end. That's who I just said to Eddie. I said, just do me a favour. Get me that fight.
You forgot a part. The title was...
Oh, they stripped me. Yeah, I was going to go back to that. So yeah, when I broke my hand, they stripped me of the world title, because what they normally do, they give you two exemptions and injuries one. So it's like an injury and then it's an extension of an injury. So like I got injured, then they give you a time scale, but then it's an extension. So I needed that extension, but before the extension, they just stripped me. So I started complaining and getting my head up my ass and speaking to Eddie, ringing Eddie all the time, messaging Eddie. And then when I was getting interviewed, I'd always like chuck up like, nah, they fucking stripped me, no one's doing nothing, this, that and the other. But Eddie got me the title shot back. And after that, after I got stripped, he was like, listen, we gave you the title, but what we're going to do is we're going to send you up to Abu Dhabi to be at the fight, and then we'll try and kick up something. And I was like, yeah. And that's what we did. And then after the fight, Eddie was like, tell him. And I just looked at the ring, I said, I'm going to fuck you up. And then Eddie was like to Freddie Roach, he's going to fuck him up. And then so we was having a back and forth with Freddie Roach in the ring. I was like, I'm gonna fuck him up. And then Rakhimov was saying something in Russian. I don't know what he was saying. And then that was that. But then obviously I got the fight then.
I think you're one of the few boxers in the world that you won the world title, and you didn't lose in the ring to then lose your title and then win it back.
Yeah, well, I don't know of any other fighter that have been a two-time world champion without losing. So at the time, so yeah, it was a difficult part of my career, because it was my second injury, and I wasn't sure whether my hand was going to be fully recovered for me to fight. And the way Rakhimov fights and me able to keep him off, I knew it was going to be hard. So yeah, it was a difficult time for me, because mentally then I got to worry about training, making sure I'm fit enough, then not go too mad on my hand. Then okay, when I got the little gloves on, is my hand going to be okay? So it was a difficult time in my career for myself.
How did you feel? Was it more of a heartbreak, robbery?
Yeah, I just thought it was like someone just come into my house, robbed me,
And
took
police
all
doing
my shit
nothing.
and I couldn't do nothing. All the police didn't do nothing. It was like, yeah, it was mad. It was crazy, but I didn't realise that behind the scenes things were getting sorted. But like I said, this is where it goes to the business side of things, because if I was in control of my own career at that time, then I would have known. But they never. So it was, yeah, it's like I'm only getting told
10%.
I'm getting 10% of what's happening. So now I'm in control of my career. I can be in the
Negotiations.
in the mix,
Okay.
in the mix of things.
April 22, the fight arrived. 2023 in Cardiff
Yeah.
again. So you had another chance to redeem it in your
Yeah.
hometown. You changed history.
Yeah.
What was the fight like?
The fight was an amazing fight, and do you know, it was completely different to the first one. Completely different. Like, I knew he was going to be tough, and it was going to be, one of the hardest fights of my career. Well, probably the hardest fight of my career.
Resistance. Brilliant combination.
Mentally, I was at the races. I was well up for it. I had a point to prove, and I just, in my head, I knew that I'd beat him in every department. And our game plan out was there to box, move, just keep him chasing me and just hitting him as he comes. And then the first round came out, and he hit me with a backhand to the body, but I blocked it, but it hit my elbow. And it hit me, and I thought, oh my fucking God, what is that? He hits hard. Oh fuck, I don't need to get hit with one of them round the chin. And so I moved for a round trying to box, and I thought, every time I'm stepping back, he's closing the gap. And then when I'm jabbing, it's like I'm jabbing, he's jabbing, and we're both getting hit with the jab. And I thought, fuck this. Everything's a bent arm shot with him. So I thought, after the first round, I said to Tony, Tone, no, I think it was after the second. I stood there in the second round, and I started letting a couple of shots go up the middle. And it felt quite easy. So after the second, I think I came back and I was like, Tone, I feel more comfortable sitting close with him because everything's wide. I'll come up the middle and catch him before he swings wide. He's like, okay, just keep doing what you're doing. And from that point, I would stand there, have pretty much a little war, then have a little move, box a little bit, and I boxed how I wanted to box it. And I fought him, I boxed him, and just I punched him in every department. I was really happy because I showed something that I hadn't showed in any of my other fights, because I've never had to. But I've also shown that I can fight, I can box, I can punch, I can do a little bit of everything. So I was happy with that fight too.
Before the year later, we'll go on to that, before Cacace, what was life like? Right after you being world champion again, you proved the point.
To be honest, no different, because I'm from a place. It's quite rough, but I've been brought up like just around all the boys are getting up to sort of mischief and stuff like that. So it's like that's what I like to stay around. I don't go and change my lifestyle or change who I hang around with or change anything. So it was nothing. I still go to the same shop I go to from when I was a kid. Then I go to the same chip shop from when I was a kid. And I'll sit on the wall outside and eat my chips, and I speak to everyone that comes past. So my life didn't change in any way, shape or form. I wake up the next day and walk through the city centre. Yeah, everyone's coming up having photos and asking me for photos and to sign certain things, but my life don't change one bit. I go to the same places, hang around with the same people, do the same things. So yeah, my life didn't change.
Was it more relaxed with regards to training?
Oh yeah, because
family?
After I fight, especially because you're world champion and you're fighting 10, 12 rounds, you're only fighting 3 times a year. You'd be lucky to fight 4. I would want to. I fought in the April. I would want to fight in the May, June, July or August. I would want to fight July, August, then fight in December. So I would have won for another twice after that, but then I had to wait till December. Then from then I had to wait till May. So it's long. There's long gaps in between. So yeah, it's relaxed in a sense of, but I didn't want it to be relaxed because if I'm not training or I'm not doing anything, I go a little bit crazy. So my mind starts going overtime and I start overthinking, and then I'll start snapping at everyone, and it can get me into certain problems. Like if, I'm not saying that if ever happened, but if I'm speaking to somebody, or like say for instance I'm on a night out, I decide to go out on a night out after all this has happened, and I go on a night out, and I'm not fighting, but like I said, I'm not training or doing anything, and I'm overthinking. I've been there. I'll be speaking to somebody, and someone comes over, starts talking shit in my ear, because I don't drink. Someone's talking shit. Get the fuck away from me. But I don't mean to be rude, but because they're coming over doing my head in, and I got a short fuse anyway, but just because of what's going on in my life and my career, it's made me go a little bit snappier. So get the fuck away from me. And it's people I know, but it's not the point. It shouldn't be like that. But it's because of the things that I gotta wait, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. But then they're probably saying something that's gonna piss me off on a normal day, but it's just made it 10 times worse because of the situation I'm in. But it's there is difficult times through boxing, even when you're winning, because of the negotiations, which, like I said, going back to the business side of boxing, it can be shit at times.
Yeah. Have you seen people change when it comes to you winning?
Towards me, yeah. I've seen people change towards me in a sense of, a lot of people I'll be nice, but then I've seen people distance themselves as well because they think I've changed, but I genuinely haven't. They think I've changed. I do exactly the same thing. The only thing is I might I haven't changed. I just maybe go to the gym a little bit more, or go to a different gym, or go to this, or go and do that. I might add a little bit. I go and play golf now. It's not that I've changed, because I've stayed exactly the same. Like I said,
you dedicate more time to yourself.
To myself. I'd rather be on my own. But I've seen certain people change towards me in a sense of, they think they ain't got a ring. They'll be ringing me all the time. Then since certain things happened since I went, they not ringing me because they think I've got a ring. Well, you've rung me before I was a world champion constantly. So why aren't you ringing me now? Do you understand? But it's not like I've sort of distanced myself from them. Because like I said, they were ringing me before I was a world champion.
Other way around? So people who didn't call you are now calling you?
Yeah.
Or in different situations?
Yeah, in different situations. But yeah, they a lot call me. But I know who's for me and who's phoning me for just fucking bullshit. I don't, half the time I don't answer. I have messages every day and phone calls every day. Some people I do. I might answer to maybe 6-7 people on my phone, and if this is people I haven't spoke to in ages, and I answer to them, I think, let me just see what they want, because it's half the time it's for what people, they want something, not from me, or they want me to find out something, or this or that. Not they want something from me, because they'll never get anything from me, because I will never ever give it to them.
Yeah. What I appreciate about this is you mentioning that you have a lot of messages. Is that when I called, you answered.
Yeah.
And I'm still young. I'm 19,
Yeah.
and I appreciate the fact that you're still humble, although you've achieved what you achieved, and you still give out this as a thank you to people who appreciate you as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's super important as well.
Yeah, of course. Like for instance, my brother said on the way up, because he don't understand how certain things work, and he's like, do you get paid for stuff like this? And I said, people do. I said, I could have asked for money, but I said, it don't bother me. I said, stuff like this don't bother me, because it's like you're trying to do something. Do you understand? It's like I could say to someone, like someone asked me to do a post the other day. Oh, can you do a post? I said, yeah, I can do a post. I said, what is it first? And we'll give you 500 quid. But I looked at it and I thought, nah, but 500 quid's fuck all really for me to put something out, and potentially it could damage someone, or it's not damage someone, but like they could use these people or get in touch with these people, and then something goes wrong with them. I'd rather not be involved in that. So like I don't really, if I want to do it, I'll do it, and most of the time I will do it. Like you rang me, like you said, answered every time.
Yes.
If unless I was in the pool or in the beach or in the gym, then I probably wouldn't. But I'd ring you back.
Yesterday I called you.
Yeah.
He didn't answer, and then you called her 5 minutes after,
Yeah.
which I appreciated. You know.
Of course, I've never changed, never changed.
May 18, 2024. Cacace. Different fight. This is where you actually lost the title.
Yeah,
It's your only loss in your career so far.
probably a fight that should have got the win quite comfortably, and I believe I would have quite comfortably as well.
Honestly, I think you lost in the third round.
Yeah. That's what I would have got to. So the third round, and after the first round, I went back to the corner and I was like, "This is gonna be fucking easy." Not easy, but like in my head, I was thinking, "No, it's comfortable." And Tony was like, "Just keep doing what you're doing." So I knew I won the first. Second, he was like, "Just keep doing what you're doing." Going into the third, I felt like I was pissing that one as well. And then, even though there was probably, he had a little bit of success in each of the first two rounds, but it was like comfortable wins for the rounds for me. And the third round come and it was going the same way. And then all of a sudden, the ref says, "Stop, break."
Doing the right thing. Oh my! And that's hurt him as well, by the way.
As you said, break, I've stopped, step back, because in the changing rooms, they'll come in and they give you instructions. If I say stop and I say break, you step back. And stop punching. So you stop where you are, and you step back. Then all of a sudden, he said, "Stop, break." As I've done that, they say, yeah, just protect yourself at all times, but as I step back, boom, hit me with like it was like, yeah, there was like a little touch and then a big left hook. Like in a sense of, it didn't wobble me, but it shook me to my boots. It was like buzz straight away. It was like a flashlight. It was like that light in front of me. And it flashed me and I was like, okay. And instead of me, because I've never experienced that before, all I wanted to do was get a shot back, and I wanted to get back straight to it. But my experience, in a sense of, it's always been wins. I've never experienced being hurt or anything. So, and I believe if he caught me in the middle of a round, he wouldn't have hurt me, because I can take a dig. I sparred like a Conor Ben. I sparred big boys. They've hit me, and none of them have done flash me like that. So when and it wasn't a hard shot, by the way. It wasn't, I felt it and I thought, oh my God, that was unbelievable. It was just a sharp shot. A stun. So then, but I just didn't recover. And then when every shot I was getting hit with after that, I was having the flash again. And I just knew I'd never ever recovered, which I should have took my 5 minutes when I made a fuss about it. But I never. I don't cry over spilled milk, and I've said it hundreds of times. That saying, there's no point crying over it.
Did you feel the title slipped away after that punch?
I round by round, because I had a good round next round, but I sort of give everything I had, and I was zapped then by that time, because like I said, every shot was something was taken out of me, every shot after that. But yeah, it was I've tried to get the fight back. They don't wanna, and they I was struggling for the weight anyway, which they already knew, but I still believe that I would have beat him hands down. Yeah, it was a Frank Warren show, and he's a Frank Warren fighter, so they were never gonna make a fuss. But yeah, I went into a little bit of a depression thing stage for a few weeks. I didn't want to be around anyone. Just wanted to be on my own. And yeah, I just didn't want to do anything. So I just, like, anyone who was trying to ring me, I wouldn't even answer the phone. And it was just like, I thought, fuck this. I can't be arsed with this shit. And then I was like, shall I pack it in? And then I thought, nah. After about a week, I just went for a run. No, about 2 weeks, I went for a run on my own. And I felt good. So then I started running again. But same again, I'd run and I'd come in and I'd stay in.
During those 2 weeks, did you feel like, listen, I don't have to prove anything to anyone? I want to pack my bags and...
I've never had to prove anything to anyone anyway. The only ever thing I've wanted to do in my life, yeah, is and this is God's honest truth, is make my mum and dad proud. That was it. When I was playing rugby and football, I would be looking to see if my mum and my dad was watching when I was doing certain things, and if they were watching, then I'd be running harder, or I'd be trying to score, or I'd be trying to score a try, or tackle hard. But I was always looking to see if my mum and dad was watching. So, like I said, the only thing for me was about making my mum and dad proud. The one time I was in the European Olympic qualifier, and it was in a final, and I was fighting a French geezer, Sofiane Omiya, who was like 3-time world champion, an Olympic silver medalist, and I'm sure he won Olympic gold as well. But I was fighting him, and I beat him twice previously, and because I've qualified for the Olympic Games, I was like, okay, well, we don't need to go at it because we might fight in a couple of weeks, so we just have a little mess around. He'd come out but my mum and dad had flew over to Turkey and to watch, and I've sort of having to touch, and he hit me with a backhand. I was like, fuck, okay. So I was in my head, I'm gonna come out, have an easy, like, sort of mooch about, and he was coming out like as if it's an Olympic final. And I thought, okay, so I've lost the first round, I've won the second, so I've gone at it, and I've trying to. Then he nipped it in the last round. It was a close round. And then my dad, after I thought, I went up and I was a bit fuming, but I went up and sat with my mum and dad. And my mum and dad my dad went, you ever fucking do that again? We've spent money to come over here and watch you fucking throw that away. You taking a piss. He said, you ever fucking do that again? I've gone back to my thing. I just won a silver medal in the European Championships, and I qualified for the Olympic Games, so I should be happy. All I could think about all night was what my mum and dad said to me. I was fucking fuming. Not in a fuming, I was gutted because I threw it away, and I was disappointed in myself because I knew I beat him twice before in that year. I knew I could beat him again, and I've just done that. So yeah, I was. That's all I've ever wanted to do in my career. Was
that a switch?
In a sense, yeah. Like I say to people, yeah. Do you know? Yeah, I lost against Cacace. My mum and dad was watching. Do you know, if you're gonna beat me and stop me from coming, you're gonna have to stick me to the floor, because you're gonna have to put me to sleep. Because I'll keep coming. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, he put me down, but it was after the one on a break. But after that, I would have carried on fighting till the 12th round if the referee never jumped in. So you would have had to knock me spark out for me to stop, and that's because my mum and dad's watching, not because anyone else. Because there's a lot of people out there that would have been in that position that would have probably just folded, but not me. They'd have to stick me to the floor. That's my worst fear, is if they both say they're disappointed in me. If they said, or if I know they're disappointed in me, it kills me. It kills me.
It's hard to see people go through situations, become the best at their craft, and their parents aren't there.
Yeah.
So luckily, you're at a point in your life where they're here, they're supporting you, and helping you push to your limits.
For sure. If it was probably up to my mother, she'd probably say, I don't want you fighting no more, because she don't really like me watching me fight.
Makes sense.
But she comes is support me. Do you understand? My dad, I'm not sure what he thinks. I don't really speak to him about it. If he would want me to carry on, or if he likes me boxing or whatever. I know he loves boxing because he watches it every single day. I'm in the flat now, and he'll have YouTube on, watching the interviews from the boxing, or watching fights of mine or someone else's, but growing up, I can't remember him loving boxing the way he does now. So clearly it's through me. So for my father, I think he likes me boxing, but my mother, I don't think she wants me to box.
You think, or you know?
I think, because she comes to every fight, so I can't say she don't like it, but I don't think she wants me to fight.
14 months later, you're back in the ring. What happened? Why did you stop with Matchroom? What was the situation like?
My contract was up. We had matching rights, which obviously where I lost the title. So it's like, it's sort of knowing I ain't got a world title no more. So it's like, okay, do we want to work with Joe or don't we? Or it's sort of a little bit of miscommunication happened before the fight, before the Cacace fight. So it was like, okay, this is where we stand, this is where he stands. Okay, no problem. So yeah, I was out of contract, and then
Was there a fallout though?
Not so much. Like I said, it was just miscommunication, which it was never cleared up before after my fight. So yeah, but like I said, I wasn't in control of my career, so it wasn't down to me, down to my management. So then what happened then, I was playing golf the one day, and I had a phone call off my dad, and he was like, Joe, I'm going to tell you before anyone else tells you. He said, I've been on the phone to Eddie. I said, so anyway. Cut long story short, I finished golf, and I was thinking, right. But the day before, this is how mad it worked. The day before, my mate Jake, we were speaking, and he was like, listen, you need to ring Eddie. I was like, no. He's like, right, I'm gonna make it. I said, I will, but I kept like putting it off. I think I was just enjoying the time of being out the ring, but then it was like there was no get back to where I was, because I've been promised so many things in the like months before. I was like, yeah, okay, I can't be fucked. I'll just wait till something lands on my lap, which ain't the right thing to do in boxing. So I've rung Eddie, and I was like, what's happening, Ed? He answered straight away, to be fair to him. What's happening, Joe? How are you, mate? Everything good? I said, yeah. He said, I said, Ed, before you start, I said, listen, I said, I just spoke to my dad. He started giggling. I said, before anything, I had nothing to do with that phone call. And he was like, he went, nah. He said, do you know what, mate? He said, it actually turned out, he told me how it started, and he said, it actually turns out to be a decent little phone call. He said, listen, he said, what are you doing now? I said, listen, Ed, fuck all, mate. He went, do me a favour. He said, why don't you come up, because Johnny Fisher and Dave Allen was fighting. He said, why don't you come up next week to the show or to the press conference? I thought, the show he's going to be too busy. So I said, yeah, I'll come to the presser. So I drove up to the presser, had a little meeting with him, and it was like, right, this is what we'll do. Fight 5th of July, and then we'll fight October, November, December, end of the year. I said, perfect. We had a little chat, and he was like, lovely. He said, why didn't you come and ring me? Why didn't you ring me earlier? Or come and see me before? And I was like, do you know what? I wish I fucking did. Because that's how, every time I've ever spoke to him, like one-on-one or just like directly. Everything he said is been sorted, but this is like I was saying, it's the business side of things. You got other people dealing with your business, and for me, it's not the right way to go. Like people will say to certain fighters, like with the British Boxing Board of Control, you have to hold a license for 3 years before you can get your manager's license. It's not for everyone. In a sense, if you should manage yourself. At least you know where you are, and if something goes wrong, it's on you. But I can't blame anyone now if something goes wrong.
Because it's your fault.
But I've had a lot of things where I thought, no, this should have been done, this should have been done, or I should have had this, or I should have had that, because I wasn't in control. There was someone else in control of it. So that's my fault to blame because I never put that right. So, in a sense, but I can also put the blame on that as well. But now I can't. So, I think in fighters' careers, I think they should take on the manager, get their manager's license and manage themselves. But for youngsters coming through, I think they need a manager to get.
You have your own license?
Yeah, I have a manager's license, so I could manage fighters if I wanted to.
Okay.
And then eventually, when I finish, I will.
Is it something you think
I
you
will?
want to?
Yeah, I will. But at this present time, while I'm active, I just don't think it's right for me to do that because I'm not going to be able to give them 100%.
Who's the first boxer you'd manage?
But all of them are going to have managers already. Do you know what? There's a fighter, but he's managed by my trainer. There's a fighter called Kane Shepherd. Because I think I used to work with him when he was young. Yeah, in the sense help him spar. He's a good kid, talented, very talented, and I think, do you know, if I was in and around him a lot more than what I am now, because he's in the gym, but we sort of missed each other because he fought, then he had a bit of an injury, then I was in camp, so he wasn't in camp fully for anything. But if I had him around me constantly now, we're going to be working together a lot more because we're in the same gym now. And I think with him being around me, and not saying that I could do it better than my manager, my trainer, because at this present moment I can't, because like I said, I'm in no position because I'm training and I'm concentrating on my own career. But that's just someone I'd love to manage because I think he can go all the way.
You love white, and you fight in white.
Yeah.
Why?
Do you know, there was a who was there? It was either Dave Alloway or Rob McCracken, if I remember rightly. He was on about white gloves. He said, that's why Muhammad Ali wears white gloves. And I said, why? Because it makes him feel faster. And white shorts and white boots. And I am, fuck off. No, he said, serious. So I thought, okay. And from that day, I wear white gloves. And then any time I've wore anything else, which my sparring gloves are pink and orange, I just feel so slow.
Is it a superstition? Or is
I
it more of
I wouldn't say it's a superstition. Because, I wouldn't
style,
say.
strategy?
Yeah, strategy, I'd say.
Flipping the script, we're going on to UFC and how UFC fighters are now going into boxing.
Yeah.
For example, everyone knows this, that Conor McGregor fought boxing.
I don't really mind it. This brings more eyes to the sport because they're real fighters also. It's not like a YouTuber coming in and jumping straight into big fights.
I notice you don't like the Jake Paul.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, he's a good fighter. That's the mad thing. But for him to, like, he's fighting like, how can I say, fighters that are at the end of their career. Now you put him, I don't know what weight he's at. It's cruiserweight,
sure.
Or cruiserweight.
Not too sure.
If he's a cruiserweight, tell him to go and fight Alois, or go and fight. If he's at heavyweight because he wants to fight Andy Joshua, go and fight Lawrence Okoli. Go and fight a Bacoli, or go and someone who ain't. Oh, well, you are Lawrence Okoli's a world champion, but go and fight these. Why you're jumping straight in now, and you're calling out the like the Anthony Joshua's, who everyone wants to see him fight Fury. So go and fight someone that's not on the same level in the sense of stardom as him. Go and fight someone that's a real fighter, like a Kevin Lerena. Go and fight someone like a Kevin Lerena. Kevin Lorena's been a world champion. Yeah, he's just lost for a world title against a Coley. Kevin Lorena's a legitimate fighter. Tell him to go and fight someone like that first, and then we'll see how he gets on, because what he's done is he's come in and fought fighters that are really on the end of their career, like, or really washed, and then is jumping on that sort of, yeah, I beat world champions. No, you haven't beat anybody that's been at that world title level at that time. They've all dropped off. So yeah, it sort of pisses you off. But he is a decent fighter. He'd beat a lot of like fighters at a certain level. But then I think when you get to world level, and even some European fighters, some European level fighters, I think he'll get beat.
I think he's doing a very good job, honestly, because I don't think it's easy.
No, it's not. And that's what I rate about him. He's come in a short space of time. Like I said to you, I do believe he's a good fighter, but I just like it pisses you off when you've got fighters that have worked their whole life, i.e. myself, worked their whole life trying to get to that
point.
Yeah, you just come in. Yeah, okay, you got millions and you've got so many millions of subscribers and whatever else, and it brings eyes. But you've come in. We come in from here and we got to build up. You just come in straight here. And that's what is the bitterness from fighters. And I'll be honest, it is bitterness and it's envy, because it's like, well, we've done it how we were meant to do it, and you've just come straight in like that, and you're taking it from the fighters that do deserve it. So yeah, it is. But I don't knock him, because anyone that's earning a few quid in their life, I don't envy that. It's just the opportunity. That's what is taken away from fighters. But there's no one my weight doing it, so I couldn't really give a shit.
Exactly. And you also mentioned that when I asked you about the MMA fighters fighting in boxing, they bring guys.
Yeah.
Do you think that he made a big impact on boxing?
No, he haven't made no impact on boxing. we already had the impact. I'll just name. You got Canelo, you got Crawford, you got Floyd Mayweather, you got Anthony Joshua, you got Tyson Fury. Who else you got? You got Bivol, Tank Davis, Shakur, Stevenson, Devin Haney. I could keep going on and on.
Those two names, Shakur.
Yeah, Shakur and Tank. Yeah, I'd love to fight them. I'd love to, but we'll go on that in a minute. But them names surpass whatever he will ever do in his career, in his boxing career. So yeah, he brought eyes, but it's the eyes of YouTube over to boxing.
Not the original fans you want.
Yeah, who have started off watching boxing from grassroots upwards. So yeah, this it's good in a sense, but good.
There's a limit.
Nah, yeah, of course. I believe there's like, yeah, it'll only be a matter of time before he gets beat, and yeah. Well, he lost to Tommy. And like, Tommy's a good fighter. I think he's British level. I don't think he's beyond that at this point, for what I've seen. But he's a good fighter for British level, and that's a British level fighter, and he lost to Tommy. Yeah, and I think if Tommy fights him again, I think he'll beat him again, because it's just the style of fights. But yeah, we won't know until that happens. But UFC, I was in the UFC training facility in Vegas, and Dana White was there, and I said, "You got any 130s or 135 fighters for me?" I said, "We'll have a crossover," and he was like, "Yeah, do you know what we have?" And I went down in the change rooms, and he's I think because the weights are different, they call him different, but I think he's around about my weight, full of tattoos. And I was thinking, I'm sizing him up. I'm thinking, yeah, you'll be alright. because Dana said a name and I can't remember his name, and he's like, yeah, he's one. It was him in the change rooms. So I was thinking, right. So I'm sizing him up. I'm thinking, yeah, I'd smash you everywhere. But he can actually box as well, this kid.
Who's the guy? You know the guy?
I can't think of his name. Good fighter. Good fight MMA. I don't know what he's like in boxing, but he's more stand up and lets his hands go. So I know he'd be a decent fight, but I'd love a crossover. It's good. Good
challenge.
Viewing. Yeah, a good challenge. And I'm not saying that I could go over and do the MMA. That's not a thing, because I'd probably get choked out in a second. I'll be trying to bite them, but or try and gouge their eyes or do something. But yeah, if they came over to boxing, I'd love to have a crack with them. And but yeah, there's no on my way to doing that at the moment. So yeah.
You mentioned two names.
Tank and Shakur. But to be honest, there's them two, but there's also, you've got Murataya, who's a world champion as well. And then you've got the winner of Sam Noakes and Abdullah Mason. So for me, I've always wanted to fight Shakur. And
For what reason?
Because when we were super featherweight, he called me out after I won the world title. So I was like, okay, no problem. Let me have my week off, and then we'll talk. But in the meantime, I flew out a couple of days later over here, and I'm sat by the pool, and I'm on Twitter, and I see him trying to organise a fight with someone else, and I said, what the fuck's going on? I said, I thought we was having it. And then we're going back and forth, and then he has a fight. He didn't make the weight. And I thought, what a maggot. He could have made the weight. It was like a couple of ounces. And then he's moved up a weight. So then when I've moved up a weight, we were scheduled to fight. But we've always had like a back and forth anyway. But we were scheduled to fight. And then obviously he pulled out hand injury, and then it should have been rescheduled, but then he decided to go with someone else. So then his excuse was, we needed a bigger name. Well, you needed a bigger name.
Excuse?
Okay. His excuse, because you need a bigger name. Okay, you need a bigger name. You're fighting someone that haven't won a world title. You haven't won any sort of title. Bear in mind, he is a good fighter, which was Kid Austin. So he was fighting him, but then he pulled out, and then Josh Padley stepped in. That was his excuse. Bear in mind, like I said, Kid Austin hadn't won a world title. At that time, he wasn't a big name in world boxing. In America, he might have been a big name, but in world boxing, he wasn't a big name.
Yeah.
So, but at least I was a 2-time world champion. Do you understand?
You think he was scared in a way?
Not scared. I wouldn't say scared, but it's like high risk, low reward for him.
Yeah.
We've been in the amateurs together, so I've beat people he's beat. Okay, is it that? Well, I don't think I should give him a chance just in case. But he believes in himself. His confidence is through the roof. Not saying that, but it's like, yeah, I think I know how to beat him, and I know how to beat him.
If he's there instead of the camera right now,
yeah,
what's a few words you give him?
He's a fucking bitch. That's what I tell you. He's a bitch. You know, the mad thing is, like, I've had the back and forth with him over the socials, then over the interviews and all that sort of stuff, and then his excuse was, it's not a big fight, but the fight was done. I knew what I was getting. He knew what he was getting. So why would you want to go through a whole new negotiation with someone else? You just reschedule a fight. Do you understand? I was ready.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think the guy's a messer.
What's the outcome of the fight?
I believe I beat him. I believe I know how to beat him.
Believe or you know?
Me believing is knowing.
And if you close your eyes and it's a dream fight, is it between Tank or Shakur?
Oh, Tank.
Tank.
Yeah, Tank. If it's a dream fight, Tank. Out of the The lightweights at the minute, I put Tank at the top. I put Tank at the top out
Right
of all
now.
them. Of all them, yeah. All them big names, he's at the top.
Mentioning lightweight, you made your permanent move, am I right?
Yeah. My first 9 fights in my career was at lightweight, so it's nothing new for me in a sense of the feeling, the size and the weight. It's not a problem. But it's now just trying to adapt to making the weight and stuff, because I haven't made the weight at lightweight only once, and it was comfortable. So I just gotta be a bit more smarter in how I do it. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I felt well in my last fight. I felt good. Yeah, I'm just looking to keep improving on how I'm doing the weight and moving on to the next one and just keep building on top of it.
Who's next?
Genuinely, I don't know. They're still doing the schedule for Matchroom, so I'm just hoping that I'll have something by the end of the week or maybe next week.
Who do you want next? Let's change it.
If it was up to me, I'd fight either a Tank or Shakur, or Murataya, or the winner of Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes. So anyone with a world title. I just want another shot at a world title, because I believe, and I know I can win a world title at my second weight and become a 3-time 2-weight world champion.
Call one of them out right now.
I call them all out.
Oh?
Sam Noakes, the winner, Sam Noakes, Abdullah Mason, Javante Davis, Shakur Stevenson, and Murataya. Any one of them.
Bring it on.
100%.
Let's go into the quickfire questions. Okay, so I'm going to ask you 6 questions. They have to be rapid and short. So, one fighter you'd fight right now who's either dead or alive.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
What stadium?
Millennium. Or Principality.
The most disrespectful thing an opponent has ever done to you in the ring.
It was when I was an amateur. Robson Constance, as we went to touch gloves, he swings his leg back and kicks like flicks it forward, and it kicks you in the shin. And he used to do it to everyone. I boxed him twice, and he'd done it the first time, and the second time he went to do it, but I moved my leg, so I knew what he was doing. So yeah, that was probably it.
Why does he do it?
It's just a psychology. If I kick you in the shin as we're about to fight, you're going to be angry trying to get back.
Yeah.
So he knows he got one over on me.
If you could steal one weapon from another fighter's arsenal, whose and what?
Canelo Alvarez. His ring generalship, how he moves and where he positions you.
The biggest lie boxing fans believe.
Jake Paul will be a world champion.
Biggest lie?
100%. Yeah,
Mm.
I would say. Don't tell me you believe that.
I like the guy. I've been watching him since I was young, so I'm gonna stay quiet. I'm gonna stay quiet. Last one. Who's the biggest contact in your phone right now?
I got a few. Probably Anthony Joshua.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Our latest guest left you a question. Yeah. It was Glenn Micallef, the European Commissioner of Sports.
Yeah.
Oh, give me a sec. He didn't know you were coming. And the question is this. Okay, nice one. What's one thing that sets you apart?
My mindset.
Your mindset.
And it's my why I do what I do.
What's your why?
But like I said, my family, my mother and father, make them proud, and my kids.
Your kids.
Yeah. Sorry to stop you here. I got something for you. I'm gonna sign them and give them to you. So
That's super, man. Thank you so much.
Do what you want with them. You can use them, or you can put them on the wall, or or we can have a spar right now if you want.
I'll ask him to body shot. Can I?
Yeah. Be brave.
We'll do it after the episode.
With the sign on it. So
We'll do it after the episode.
Which hand do you want to use?
Not the right for sure, because you knocked someone after that, so
Use the left.
use the left.
Okay.
much, Joe.
No worries. Come on,
Show
mate.
to the cam.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep this one here. Thank you so much, huh? Super. Let me see.
Come on.
We'll do that right after. We'll do it now. Let's finish. Let's finish. And then we'll do it. We'll do it right after. Let's close off. So Joe, thank you so much. Can I shake your hand?
Yeah, of course you can, man.
It was super. I loved this conversation with you. It was super.
Yeah.
I think to anyone who's watching, it was a great story. Kindly subscribe. Tell them to subscribe.
Subscribe, or you'll get the left hand that he's bound to get.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and like the video if you liked it, obviously. And as always, Champions Connect out. Thank you so much, Joe. Super one.
Thank you for having me.
Fuck,
I
man.
don't know why he's doing this. Yeah.
Double world champ, by the way.
Just put yourself up against the wall so you don't bounce back. Yeah. You sure? Tense. Make sure you're tensing. Yeah. Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna count you down. 3. I'm not gonna hit you fully, but I'm gonna hit you a little bit. 3, 2, 1.
Fuck! Fuck me.
You almost shut yourself out.
You okay?
Fuck, man. Oh.
You're crying.
I'm shaking.
Ah, he's crying.
Oh,
Good one, man. Good one.
come on, bro.